Chapter 1. The View from the 43rd. When Marcus Lang signed the lease for apartment 4306 in the Armitage Tower, he thought he'd found the perfect escape. After his messy breakup and the loss of his mother in the same year, New York City was meant to be a reset button. The Armitage was sleek, modern, and towering, offering panoramic views of the Hudson River and city skyline. It was the kind of place that screamed success. But there was something off. From the first night, Marcus noticed strange things. The lights in the hallway outside his door flickered constantly, though management insisted there was nothing wrong. The elevator would occasionally stop on the 43rd floor, even when no one had pressed the button. And then there was the silence. Too silent. The Armitage Tower had 54 floors, and yet Marcus swore he never saw another soul on the 43rd. He chalked it up to timing. Maybe everyone was just as busy as he was. But the odd feeling settled like dust in his chest, unmoving. In the evenings, he'd sit on his couch by the floor-to-ceiling windows, watching the city lights flicker like stars below. Sometimes, he'd see his own reflection linger too long in the dark glass, watching him even when he turned his head. Chapter 2. The Neighbor Next Door. On the fourth day, Marcus heard something new. Tapping. Not from above or below, but from the unit next to his, apartment 4307. It started around midnight and went on for several minutes. Tap, tap, tap. Always in threes. He knocked on the door the next day. No answer. He asked the doorman about the resident. The reply was curt. That unit is unoccupied. Marcus didn't sleep well that night. He tried to read, watch movies, play music, anything to drown out the eerie tapping that returned nightly. Sometimes he thought he could hear a voice whispering between the taps, like a song played through static. He started leaving his TV on for background noise, but even then, the tapping cut through it. Chapter 3. The Old Woman in the Lobby. It wasn't until his second week that Marcus saw someone unusual. An elderly woman stood in the lobby, staring at the wall of mailboxes. She wore an old-fashioned black dress and held a red umbrella, despite it being sunny outside. She turned to him as he passed. "You're on 43, aren't you?" He nodded slowly. "They don't stay long on 43. "Who doesn't?" She looked at him as if he were a child. "The ones who can hear the knocking." When Marcus turned back to ask more, she was gone. He asked the concierge about her. No one had seen a woman matching that description all day. The security footage for that hour was missing due to technical issues. Chapter 4. The Hidden Floor Plan. Growing suspicious, Marcus dug around online and found an archived version of the Armitage's floor plans. What he found chilled him. There was no 43rd floor listed. Floor 42 led to 44. He checked the elevator buttons that night. There was indeed a 43. Had to be. He lived there, right? He rode the elevator to other floors, checking their layouts, looking for inconsistencies. Every floor had more foot traffic, more noise, more life. Only 43 was deserted. He tried taking the stairs, counting every step, every level. But 42 led directly to 44. When he returned to his floor via the elevator, the hallway looked different, dimmer. Chapter 5. Nightmares and Whispers. Marcus began having vivid dreams. Long, windowless hallways. A crying woman locked behind a steel door. Children laughing somewhere distant, their voices echoing unnaturally. He started hearing whispers in his apartment. always at 3:43 a.m. A woman's voice. "Let me out." He recorded the audio one night. When he played it back, there was only static, except for one chilling moment where a whisper bled through the silence. "Help me." His reflection in the dark windows began to act strangely, moving when he didn't, turning its head when his stayed still. Chapter 6. The Janitor. One late night, Marcus ran into a janitor he'd never seen before. The man was pale, with sunken eyes, and wore an outdated uniform. "You shouldn't be here," the janitor murmured, pushing his cart. "Excuse me. They locked her in. She's angry. The walls remember." Before Marcus could ask more, the janitor disappeared into the service stairwell. It was chained shut when Marcus tried to follow. Later, Marcus asked the front desk about the janitor. The manager looked confused. "We don't have overnight janitors." Chapter 7. The Secret Room. Determined to uncover the truth, Marcus began knocking on the walls of his apartment. One section sounded hollow. He pried open the drywall late one night, revealing a narrow passage. It led to a hidden chamber between apartments. Inside, there was an old metal chair bolted to the floor, leather restraints hanging limp. The walls were scratched with the words, "I never left." In the corner sat a dusty phonograph. When Marcus wound it, it played a lullaby in reverse. He found old newspaper clippings tucked behind the walls, stories of missing tenants. All had lived on 43. None were ever found. Chapter 8. The Burning Files. Marcus took photos, documented everything. He went to the building office demanding answers. A different manager greeted him, one who claimed no knowledge of the prior staff Marcus had met. When he showed the photos, the man's face went pale. "This building doesn't have a 43rd floor." He showed Marcus the current blueprints, 42 to 44. Nothing in between. The next day, every file Marcus had, his lease, his photos, even the recording, was gone. His phone was factory reset overnight. Even the hidden room behind the wall was sealed up again, as if it had never been there. Chapter 9. Eviction. A notice appeared on his door. Failure to vacate an unauthorized area. Marcus tried to leave the building, but the elevator would only take him to 43. The stairs led back to his hallway, no matter how many flights he descended. He was trapped. Food deliveries never arrived. His phone lost service. Calls never connected. No one else came or went on the floor. The hallway lights grew dimmer by the day. He began seeing shadows move at the edge of his vision, always near apartment 4, 307. Chapter 10. The Last Resident Desperate. Marcus found an old news article from 1974. A nurse named Evelyn Hart was accused of locking psychiatric patients in hidden rooms in the Armitage when it was still a hospital. She vanished after the scandal. Her last known address? Apartment 4, 307. One photo showed Evelyn standing in front of the building. She was holding a red umbrella. Chapter 11. Let me out. That night, the knocking returned, but it wasn't from next door. It was inside his own walls. He followed the sound and found the hidden chamber again. This time, the chair was occupied. A woman in a nurse's uniform looked up at him, her eyes hollow. She smiled. Finally, someone who can hear. She reached out. The lights in the apartment flickered violently. Marcus felt his feet lift from the floor, his body suspended as if in water. A deafening scream erupted inside his head. Then, silence. Chapter 12. Epilogue. Marcus Lang was reported missing a week later. No trace was found. Apartment 4306 was listed again a month later. Luxury unit. Great view. Recently renovated. And still, nobody ever stays long on the 43rd floor.